Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and today we have a foundation review. I was looking on the Ulta website and I found a brand that I had never heard of, and I thought we would sit down and talk about this new foundation together. I think it's new. I haven't seen it anywhere else. This is from Smith & Colt. It is their Veiled Thread Weightless Micro Blurring Foundation, and it is $42, and I'm ready to jump in. Can you tell I'm just like so excited to do a foundation review? I am in the process. If you didn't see yesterday's assumption video, I will link it up here. I do talk about it a little bit in that, but for those of you that missed it, I am in the process of still going through getting all of this situated. So I know that there's like a slight shadow over here. I know that there's little things that still need to be tweaked, and I am in the process of doing that, but like I just couldn't wait anymore to be like free and hang out with you guys without a backdrop. I don't know, I love the backdrop. Like, it still might make a guest appearance every now and again, but guys, I just miss hanging out with you in like a normal room. I feel like even as I'm editing, I'm just like, oh my god, like I miss that roomy feel, and so many of you felt the same way. There were so many of you that were supportive either way, but a lot of you were just like, girl, where's that room feel? And I'm like, I know, I need it too. So it is back, but the other one, like I said, it might make, you know, a guest appearance here or there. And also, if you did miss yesterday's video, I also have an Invisalign in. So if you see me kind of get like a little caught on my lips, I apologize. Or if you hear my little slight lisp that I seem to have developed, I am sorry. Also, update, my gums stopped bleeding finally, so that's good. Not my gums, my upper lip right here. Girl, that is a painful situation. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this foundation. I like how I started off so hot. I'm like, we're diving right into foundation, and then I just was like, oh, bunny trail. What was that, a bird? Like squirrels? I can't even help myself. Anyways, this is a $42 foundation, again from Smith & Colt. It is on the Ulta website, which is where I picked this up from. And for $42, you get 1.11 ounces of product, which, just to put that in perspective, a standard foundation is about 1 fluid ounce. So you actually get about 11% extra with this foundation. It does come in 42 shades, and just based off of the scrolling I can do on their website, it actually looks like a pretty decent shade range. The deepest shade, again, on the website is right here. And I'm actually pretty impressed overall. It doesn't look like it's super weighted one way or the other. It looks pretty even. I haven't seen any online swatches or anything like that though, so I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so in the description here, it says, for skin that feels covered and never caked, apply the foundation to soften skin with an illuminating finish. The mousse to cream formula uses aloe vera gel and chlorophyll to instantly calm and brighten. Shh, I'm busy. Apply with your fingers, brush, sponge, or whatever to simply melt the foundation into the skin, your face, your rules. I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. My face, my rules. It doesn't really say though, like, what kind of coverage am I gonna get? Girl, hello? Any information? There's literally none as far as coverage, I guess. Well, I guess we're just gonna guess on the coverage. Now, by the way, I picked up the shade 110 Neutral, and I specifically did not pick the lightest shade. There's one shade lighter than this that looked so pale, and I was like, okay, let's just like bump it in one shade, and like, hopefully it's not too dark. I don't think it will be, but yeah, I did bump it in. So this is not the lightest shade. So let's take a look here. Oh. Okay, moving on. It comes with a pump. Okay, do you see how, okay, I just need to, I'm sorry, we just need to look, let me zoom you in. Guys, I'm so thrown off. I really didn't think it'd be this pasty, because no foundation shades are ever this pasty. For the second shade, what? Okay, so I went ahead, I zoomed you guys in, and we're gonna do just like a little swatch of this on the back of my hand. Oh my gosh. Okay, I like this pump though, that's at least nice. So here she is. Oh, nice and pasty. Oh, okay, I guess we're just gonna apply this now, and I'm gonna use my Fenty sponge here and just like blend out a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely pale. Wow, that's really light. Coverage, what coverage? Does anybody else not see coverage? None? Okay, not just me. Maybe this is why they didn't say how much coverage you were going to get on the internet, because there is none. Also, I did go ahead, I should probably mention this as well, I did prime and prep my skin. Obviously, I went through, cleansed it, did all of that. But for primers, I went in with the Tatcha Silk Canvas on this side, and then on the other side, I went in with the Too Faced Hangover Primer. I wanted to do one that was a little more hydrating and one that was just a little pore filling. So this is on this side, and again, the Tatcha Silk Canvas is on this side. Okay, I'm gonna like take another couple pumps here, and I'm just gonna try to work this onto the skin. As of right now, I'm a little shook, because girl, I look like I put on sunscreen, and there's like no coverage. So hopefully we can get somewhere with this. This is definitely not the type of consistency I would ever apply with a brush. It's too thick for that. I can just feel the way that it's like pressing onto the skin. So that's something I know is probably not for me. Oh. Okay. Girl's gonna have to blend her life away. And not to mention, how am I gonna find a concealer that's gonna match this? Oh God. This is reminding me of my Fenty review all over again. I'll link it up there for you. Guys, I really did try not to pick out a shade that was too light. That's what really gets me. That's okay. This is what bronzer is for, right? Just say it. Just like, Paige, this is why we have bronzer. It's fine. Don't cry. Don't cry, shop girl. Name that movie. Also, I'm really needing quite a bit of this foundation, just so you know. I just went in with another 2 pumps on the back of my hand to do this section. This right here is about 3-ish pumps. I'm just gonna try and build up coverage on this red area right here. And literally, that's 2 passes over that, and all you see is redness. Ooh, and you know what else I just realized? You know what's really gonna help me out with the color? When I set my foundation, because my powders are always darker than my skin anyways. So it'll probably be fine, right? Now, as far as which side looks better, I do think the Tatcha Silk Canvas side does look a little bit better than the Hangover RX side. Now I'm gonna grab my e.l.f. concealer here. This is in the shade Fair Rose, and I'm gonna see if I can just maybe spot conceal a little bit here. There we go. We got a little bit of coverage from that concealer now. I'm gonna take that same concealer and just do a little bit of concealing under the eyes and a little bit through here, but I'm not gonna do too much because the coverage on this foundation isn't that crazy, and so I don't wanna, you know, have super like full coverage under eyes and super full coverage random areas of my face, because I kind of would like the whole thing to match. I mean, it would be nice if something on my face matched today. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I am going to set my face. Now, to do that, I'm going to use this Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder here, and I'm gonna use this because I know that it does darken up on my skin a fair amount, and I think that this will be really nice over this powder. It'll help give me a little bit of color back. And before I do that though, I am gonna use the Mercier powder just to set the under eye and the big wrinkle in my forehead. Okay, so next up we're gonna grab the Charlotte Tilbury powder. This is in the shade 1 Fair, and I'm going to take that on just this big old fluffy It Cosmetics brush. This is the All Over Powder 211, and I am going to use this to lightly set the face and bring a little bit of color back into it, and you guys will see, like, this does, look at the difference. Like, this is very, very dark on me, but paired with this foundation, it'll be like my perfect skin tone almost. So that's good, I guess. And I'm going in with a very light amount of powder. Like, I just keep pressing in what I already have on my brush over and over again, trying to make sure that I don't over powder this, because again, it was a thicker foundation, and I know that thicker foundation plus thick layer of powder equals thick cakey ass mess, and I am not all about that life. I am going to go off of camera, do the rest of my face, and I will stop back on and we'll give you guys a little bit of a progress report. At this stage, it definitely does look a little better over the Tatcha Silk Canvas side. But it needs to like settle in. That's what this foundation needs right now. It needs to just settle into my skin, mix a little bit with whatever oil is gonna come through, and like go from there. So yeah, give me a second here and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead, I finished up the rest of my face, and I wanted to give you guys a shot of it before I left for the day. I'm gonna give you this one, which is obviously a lot closer. We can see a lot more things, and then I'm gonna zoom it out so we can talk a little bit more about how everything went on the skin and what products I used. But so far, I do think it is working and wearing a lot better now that I've went through, added all the additional products, set it down, and gave it a little while to just like sink into the skin. I think we're looking a lot better. Ooh, a lot better. Okay, so moving forward with what products I used after the Charlotte Tilbury powder to set the entire face, I went in with my Benefit Cheek Parade, and I took the Hoola and Hoola Light, mixed those together for my bronzer, and then for the blush, I went in with Rockateur over here, and then for the eyes, I went in, oh, look at me, I'm like, and then for the eyes, like I'm trying to show you, but for the eyes, I went in with the LA Girl Get Feverish palette right here. I just did a full review of these. I have, like, guys, all the palettes, okay? I have 2 blush palettes, a highlight palette, and 4 eyeshadow palettes. So I just did a full video of these. I will link it up here for you. And I went in with this one today just because I wanted something that was like a little bit more neutral, but also something that would give me like a little, you know, a little pizzazzle on the eyes. And I really just love this color scheme. So went in with this today. And then for what is on the eye right here, that gold, as well as my highlight, I went in with the Lorax highlight in Celestial. And then I set the entire face with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and my Catrice Dewy Glow Setting Spray. I use this combo a ton, so nothing new there. And then for lips, I went in with the Urban Decay Insanity Lip Liner and the Essence Insta-Care lipstick in the shade Sandy Sunrise. I've been wearing this so much. Okay, anyways, moving on to this foundation and how it looks. I feel like it has settled so much better over the cheeks. It looks like 10 times better than it did before. Obviously, the coverage is still a little bit of an issue. With all the products on it, it's not as noticeable, but like this over here, these little acne dots are still wild and crazy, which you already saw when I applied the foundation. I can foresee a little bit of an issue here around the mouth, like this gnarly little smile line situation, a little bit of texture on the upper lip, the upper nose area. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my day, and we're gonna stop back on here in a bit and see how everything is looking. But so far so good. And I'd also like to point out that even though this started off as way too light for my skin, going through and balancing out the other products, I actually feel like this might be one of the best like foundation matches I've had. Again, not the foundation itself, but going through that light of a foundation with products that are normally too deep on my skin tone, I feel like everything came together and looks pretty good. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the day, and I'll check in with you guys here in a little bit. Okay, you guys, so it is officially after lunchtime. I just had to go ahead, eat, and then brush my teeth and clean my Invisalign and all of that. But I wanted to stop on and also at the same time, sorry, I have like a hair in my eye, but I wanted to do a little foundation check-in. And I feel like now that it's went down a little bit as far as the sun goes, it's a little bit more truth-telling even than it was before. So I think the biggest thing that I'm taking away so far is that through here, this smile line is gnarly, which is definitely an issue. So right there is one. I am seeing a little bit of a like creasing situation up through here. Again, smile lines over here. And one of my biggest other issues that you can't really see in this light currently is I'm looking a little bit matte, like through this region. And so I wanted to go ahead real quick, and I'm going to take my Catrice Dewy Glow Spray here. I'm just going to give myself a little spurts, but I wanted you guys to see it beforehand. And then obviously these right here are just from my glasses. So we're not going to hold that against the foundation because hello glasses wearers, like that's life. So let's go ahead and take a little spray here. Okay, so that has been sitting here soaking, and I've just been fanning my face for a second, and I feel like it already has went in and like rejuvenated the whole situation. So I think so far what I'm taking away from this foundation is that it really likes to be dewy and not overly set, which is only a problem if you're like me and you do have to set your entire face, which I'm still in that phase with my skin where I have to set it because I'm oily enough. I can't quite get away with not setting it. So from where I'm sitting right now, I can tell you after a few hours, it is starting to look more matte and a little bit cakey, but it is also livening right back up with a little spray of a dewy setting spray. So far, that's what I'm kind of taking away. It doesn't really like powder. It doesn't really like to be matte. Okay, just bringing you guys in even a little closer, and you can see even through here, like that texture really did calm down, especially on this side. Everything just calmed down a lot more once I gave it another hit with the setting spray. But anyways, for right now, it is looking a lot better. Even as I look in here in the mirror and move around, it looks better than it did before I resprayed it. So I will go ahead and check in with you guys, of course, at the end of the day. But I just wanted to give ourselves a little moment to see how we're looking, see what's going on, see what's keeping fresh. And I think it looks pretty good so far. Also, I thought my brows looked real bad this morning. I actually think they look pretty good. Okay, I feel better about my life. Let's continue. Okay, you guys, it's been a couple hours now, and I just wanted to give you another update on this foundation. It appears to be doing a lot better as far as the matte look. Like, it really did just soak in that dewy setting spray, which is great. So everything's still looking good there. I am noticing my nose is quite a bit more oily than it was in the last check-in, which is to be expected. I mean, I do have normal to oily skin, and I just sprayed it twice with dewy setting spray, so I'm not mad at the oily nose situation. I'll probably blot that off. Now that I've shown it to you guys, I'll blot it off. Also, hello up close Invisalign. Yeah, you can see the little dots. Cute, right? But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. Couple hours later now, I still think it looks really good. Like, this is actually wearing a lot better than I thought it would. I'm pretty impressed. And I think that I think it's working on my skin better than I thought. Ooh, highlight. Hello, girl. Okay, anyways, I'll see you guys at the end of the day. Here's your minute check-in. Look at my skin. I'm having a little bit of an issue with texture, like up through here. Straw. And I'm not loving that, so I'm definitely keeping notes because I have some thoughts for the end of the day. But I'll check in here in a minute. Okay, you guys, so it is officially the end of the day, and I wanted to stop on here and give you guys my end of day thoughts, the up close, all of that. So I did just go ahead and take a little snippet up close right now. I will throw that in for you guys so you can take a look with me. And the truth is, it really did kind of slough off throughout the day. I wouldn't say this is a super long wearing foundation. I would say maybe 6-ish hours, 6 to 7. But if you're on the scale of like normal to oily or oily, it's probably gonna be somewhere between 5.5 to 6.5 hours of decent wear and it looking nice. Beyond that, I did notice that like all of the foundation around my mouth started to slough off all through here. Like it was kind of a hot mess, I'm not gonna lie. And again, it didn't start really happening intensely until hour 6-ish for me, but it's something that once it started happening, I was like, shit, where did my foundation go? Why is there nothing on my mouth? Like what happened? But as far as the rest of my face goes, if I'm being honest, after I did that last check-in where I sprayed it down with the Catrice, it actually continued to wear very nicely after that. Like all through here, I think all it needed was to be rehydrated. I will say this. After everything is all said and done at the end of the day, this area right here looks perfectly smooth. It looks absolutely stunning on both cheeks. Like it looks beautiful. If I had to pick a cheek that did wear a little bit better, definitely the Tatcha Silk Canvas side, just getting those pores good and filled in. And that seemed to be like my running day with this foundation was it needs to be smoothed out and it needs to be a little bit dewier. So if you're new here, one of the things I always do at the end of every foundation review is I tell you guys, how would I mix this? How would I make it better? How would I try to reinvent the wheel and make this absolutely perfect on my personal skin? So given that the issues were it needed to be a little bit more luminous and it needed to be a little bit more pore filling, I would probably say my first option would be to mix this with my Dior Skin Glow, because not only does this give a nice little light luminescence, but Dior has the most beautiful skin filling, pore filling, smoothing properties I have ever seen. So I would probably mix it with a little bit of this, which Dior does tend to oxidize on me. I wear shade 0N, which is the lightest in the Skin Glow and in the Forever that they just came out with, and it oxidizes so dark. So by adding in a couple drops of this, it might not only work as far as all the issues that I needed with the foundation, but it might also make this foundation, which is not my color, a little bit closer to my actual shade. So that's probably where I would start. If you do have one that's your shade and you just wanted to add some luminescence to it, I would say you could add maybe an oil, like a half a drop of oil, because it doesn't need a lot. It does have a very nice like sheen to the skin, and once you activate that sheen, it does look very nice and smooth. Now, I do want to also throw out there, I did a little bit more shopping while I was on the Ulta.com website, and I also picked up a couple other things from the Smith & Co. line. I grabbed a couple of their metallic eyeshadows, which I'm pretty excited about, the mattifying face primer, which I didn't try in this one, and I'm glad I didn't, and I grabbed, what else is here? The Flash Flush Luminous Blush. Wow, that's a tongue twister when you have a tray in your mouth here. Another eyeshadow. I think I grabbed all liquid eyeshadows. I grabbed like 3 or 4 of them to test out. And I say all of these because, stay tuned, if you would like to know more about Smith & Co., I will probably sprinkle them in, maybe like a full face first impressions, testing out new makeup situation in an upcoming video, maybe even this coming week. You guys can let me know down below if that's something you want to see. I didn't pick up all of the liquid glitters for the eyes, but guys, from what I've swatched, they're stunning. So spoiler alert there. I will be sure to do a product updates video just so we can all kind of have our minds wrapped around it. So be looking for that here probably in the next week to 2 weeks, depending on how quickly I make my decisions on this. But you guys, that is it. Please do not forget, you can check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. Those are both linked down below. I post all kinds of stuff all the time. Pictures of me, my cats, my eye looks. I'm on Insta stories. It's a good time. If you like to see me outside of here, if you're like, girl, I just don't get enough of Paige, you can check me out there. Again, they're both linked down below, and I'm on the quest to be verified, so following would be absolutely fantastic. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, I upload 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so be sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications if you like me, you like my content. I do put up 5 videos a week, and they go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan, so you will have good, fun, fresh daily content of new makeup, old makeup, favorite makeup, bad makeup. Like, it does not matter, guys. We just do it all. We get up close, nitty gritty. Like, we look at makeup on like an uncomfortably close level here on my channel, so subscribe if you like that. And you guys, that is all. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Now, if I sit here and I turn this on, what happens? Okay, that's too bright. What if I turn it over? It goes away. Okay, well, that helped. What if I do a little bit? Still nothing. Okay. Why can't you dim this? Oh my God in heaven. Is that a crack of light I see coming through? I don't think so, Beach. Get out of here. That is so rude. Don't come in here. I got a quarter, heads Carolina, tails California. I was born to perform. Okay, that's not true. Ooh.